Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this virtual meeting of the Licensing Committee, Miscellaneous Licensing Committee. Before consideration of today's business, I will outline the protocols for the meeting. Today's meeting is being live streamed to the public via Microsoft Teams and is also being recorded. If the Council's live stream fails during the meeting and we can't share the proceedings, I will adjourn the meeting so that access can be restored. If the issue cannot be resolved, I will halt the meeting and the remaining business will be concluded at a future date. If a member experiences a technical issue, I will adjourn for a short period to try re-establish their connection. As I call members to speak, I will remind you to switch on your microphone. You may also switch on your picture if you prefer to do so, but if not, we'll keep the cameras off. If for some reason you can't be heard by the Democratic office, the Democratic officer will advise you. I will indicate when we're going to move to vote, and members will be asked for a roll call. That's the way we're going to be doing it today. We do have public participation today, and the applicant will be joining the hearing by telephone. Where a member has declared a non-registrable interest, a disclosable pecuniary interest, or an interest by virtue of any trade union membership in a matter, they must leave the virtual meeting, and their departure will be confirmed and they will be invited to rejoin the meeting at the appropriate time. To confirm the procedure for today's meeting is that members of the committee who wish to speak on an item should indicate with an X in the chat box. Angela, we have Councillor Biscoe arriving, I believe. Good morning, Councillor Biscoe.
Good morning, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Angela, before I proceed with the names of the members introducing themselves, do we wish to wait for that until the member of the public has arrived?
I think maybe we ought to do it because the meeting is actually being live streamed in case anyone is listening. Julie, have you had any contact from the applicant?
No, I've just checked my emails and phone calls. He has my mobile number, so I've spoke to him on that before, but no, I haven't heard from him this morning, unfortunately.
Okay, I suggest we carry on, and if Mark's happy, if the applicant isn't here, that we move on to the second item. Mark, are you happy with that?
Hello, it's Mark Andrews from Legal. Yes, I'm happy with that. Give the applicant an opportunity to attend if the chair's happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do is ask, Angela will ask each of us in turn to state there's somebody here.
Yeah, I think the applicant has just arrived, so I'll just admit him a moment.
Okay, so if Angela will now ask us to confirm our names and the division that we're representing, please.
Councillor Hayward.
I'm Sandra Hayward. I'm the Cornwall councillor for the St Austell Gover division, and I chair this meeting today.
Councillor Martin.
Good morning, I'm Councillor Martin from Helston South.
Councillor Brown.
Good morning, Malcolm Brown, St Austell, Bethel.
Councillor Biscoe.
Morning, Bert Biscoe, Boscawen, Truett.
Councillor Eakin-Smith.
Good morning, David Eakin-Smith, Councillor for Lappin.
Councillor Foote.
And Jesse Foote, Cornwall councillor for the St Germans and Landulph division.
Councillor Lennox Boyd.
Good morning, it's Georgia from ZB Tuk Tuk's private hire vehicles.
Okay, Councillor Lennox Boyd.
Sorry. Good morning, I'm Sheila Lennox Boyd from Saltash North. Thank you.
Councillor Pascoe.
Good morning, Councillor Pascoe. I'm Councillor for Liskeard West and Dogwalls.
Councillor Thomas.
Good morning, members. Good morning, members of the public. Councillor John Thomas, Divisional Member for Lanner and Stillions.
Thank you. That's the committee. I can also confirm that the following officers are present today. There's myself, Angela Saunders. I'm the committee's clerk. We have Mark Andrews, our legal representative, and Julie Flower from licensing. That's it, Chairman.
Thank you. We'll now proceed on the agenda. So do we have any apologies for absence?
Yes, I've had apologies from Councillors Mould, Flashman and Dorr.
Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest, members, please? Nope. Okay. We'll go to the minutes of the meeting held on the 26th of June 2020, pages 1 to 4. Have you all had a read of them, and are there any, can I have a proposer and seconder that we accept those minutes?
I'll propose, Chair.
Thank you very much. And seconder?
I'll second. Okay.
Thank you. Angela, do you want to do a roll call for everyone who's in agreement?
Yes, I better do.
Thank you.
Councillor Hayward.
Yes, I'm in agreement.
Councillor Martin.
Yes, 4, agreed.
Councillor Brown.
4.
Councillor Biscoe.
4.
Councillor Eakin-Smith.
4.
Councillor Foote.
Yes, Councillor Foote here, 4.
Councillor Lennox Boyd.
4.
Councillor Pascoe.
4.
Councillor Thomas.
4.
Yeah, that's unanimous, Chairman.
Thank you. And as we have the representative from the Tuk-Tuks, which is the 4th item on the agenda, shall we continue with that one now? Is Georgia still there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't know if you could hear me there. I'm having difficulty getting on through Microsoft, actually.
Chairman.
Yes.
It's Angela from Democratic Services. We've got another caller. Can we just confirm who they are?
Yes, please. Who's the second caller?
This is Prasad from Newbie. I had difficulty joining in via Teams, so I dialed in now. I'm sorry, a bit late. I had some technical problems.
Are you Dr. Venturcash?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay, in that case, we'll continue with item 4, the application for the use of the ZB electric tuk-tuks as private hire vehicles. Can I ask the officer to outline the application, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. Okay, so applications have been received from Ms. Georgia Horsley and Dr. Prasad Venkatesh, trading as newbies. The applications are to license 2 ZB electric 3-wheel tuk-tuks as private hire vehicles, and they will carry 2 passengers. The tuk-tuks are unable to be licensed under delegated authority by officers as they do not meet the council's specification or conditions. You will have seen that the applicants propose to operate the tuk-tuks in Newquay, Padstow, St Ives and Foy from April to October each year. Further details of how they intend to operate are contained within the applicant's business plan at Appendix 1, as well as their executive summary at Appendix 2. The applicants have also supplied further documentation to support their application, which is all included in the report pack, and that includes the ZB specification and quick guide, as well as an example certificate of conformity, together with a copy of the EU regulations relating to approval of this type of vehicle. So the committee are requested to consider and determine the application having regard to the requirements under section 48 of the Local Government Miscellaneous Provisions Act, which states that the vehicle must be suitable in type, size and design for use as a private hire vehicle. It should not be of such a design and appearance as to lead any person to believe that the vehicle is a hackney carriage. It must be in a suitable mechanical condition, and it should be safe and comfortable. If the committee are minded to approve the ZB tuk-tuks for licensing, the necessary testing will be arranged through one of the council's approved garages. In addition, the vehicle will need MOT testing at a Class 3 MOT station. The applicants are aware of the requirements for a private hire operator licence to be granted, as well as any driver of the tuk-tuks holding a private hire driving licence before the tuk-tuks can be used to carry passengers. Finally, with regard to the conditions of licence, If the committee are minded to approve the licensing of the tuk-tuks as private hire vehicles, a special set of conditions would need to be attached to the licence in place of the standard conditions. Draft conditions have been prepared by officers in consultation with the applicants. These are attached at Appendix 7 for consideration. For ease of reference, those draft conditions show the amendments to the existing conditions crossed through and the suggested additional conditions in shaded text. I'm quite happy to go through these with the committee if they wish, now or after hearing from the applicant if required. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. For members, these, if they don't have the agenda up on their screens, if they're going by the paper one, Appendix 7 is pages 123 to 135, if that's helpful. Okay, who's going to be doing the talking? Are you, Ms. Horsley?
I think both of us are going to.
Okay. So if you would like to outline for us, this is your opportunity now.
Yeah, that's great. So as you can see, obviously all the information we've sent across to yourselves. Obviously our plan is to firstly trade in the new key areas, start with 2 vehicles and open the business in 2021. Obviously due to COVID, we've had a massive delay. And obviously if you were to give us the license for the private hire, then what we'll be doing is transporting the vehicle over to obviously England. And then obviously we can put measures into place ready for trading. Have you got any other questions about the license, about our plans or anything?
I haven't. If that's all you would like to put to us at the moment, I can open it up for questions. Sorry, Georgina? Sorry?
We went for license originally, but obviously that wasn't possible. So now we're going for a private hire, as you know. So this is the second time we've come to committee. But yeah, so obviously all the information states exactly our plans. I'm just wondering what questions you guys may have, really.
Okay, right, members. It's open to you for questions. If you would like to put a cross in the box, please, in the message in the message box, and I will invite you to ask your question. Councillor Foot.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just wondering, in your maps, you show some long distance routes around Newquay. Now, some of those roads will be national speed limit, which is 60 miles per hour. And your vehicles, from what I can tell, are going to be running between 20 and 30 miles per hour. I'm just wondering if you can tell me how you think your vehicles are going to integrate with those kind of higher speed limits.
Prasad, you dealt with the routes, haven't you, on the document of the business plan? And so Prasad has more information on the routes. Now, obviously, we're going to be taking the coastal path routes, which are obviously under the speed, 30 miles an hour, 20 mile an hour routes, rather than the main roads. Because obviously the local town. Okay,
but there's you're on a couple of B roads where they are actually national speed limit roads once you've left the center of Newquay. So I'm just interested in how your vehicles will integrate with those higher speeding vehicles.
Yeah. No, I can see what you're saying. So obviously on the maps on page number on the main business plan, is that the one you're looking at?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. So Prasad, are you there?
Yes, it is. We will be making sure that we respect the speed limit. So it is just covering the area, but the main focus is really in the center, the short distance in the center. Long distance initially was one of our plans, but we'll make sure that we'll respect the speed limit. So the focus is more in the center of the town area. So short distance. The long distance is.
Okay, it was. I'm not so concerned about the center of town areas, and I know that your limits, that you will be within the speed limits because your vehicles can't really go faster than 30 miles per hour. But I'm concerned because other vehicles on that road will be going much faster, potentially much faster. And they could be going up to 60 miles per hour. So I'm just interested.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
it might be Prasad that we need to obviously make sure that we are in the local town areas, not on the main roads there, because obviously, like you say, we need to make sure we're going to the right speeds. Like Prasad said, we are quite happy to go on short distance trips. That's the whole idea of it anyway, rather than going on long distance trips, obviously, because it is obviously on the battery charge. So we can't go on long journeys as such. So it would have to be local, small distance around Newquay area, you know. So obviously we're happy to start there and then branch off, see how it goes, really.
Okay, and if I might, Chair, just have one quick one. You just mentioned battery charging, and I'm just wondering where you'd be planning on charging the batteries.
I have a unit at Treloggan Industrial Estate in Newquay, and it's a very large unit with a big shutter, so it's a garage shutter. So we're planning on parking movies in there and charging that from that unit rather than having to rent a local storage container or something in the local area, because obviously we've got a unit already. So that's our plan.
Okay, thank you.
So the way this, we have two ways of charging. One is called as a quick charger, which is a static installed charger. This will be done in then Treloggan Industrial Park. And for mobile charging, it can go on any standard thing. It will not be a fast charger. So that is a plan. So we have a static charger overnight, let's say, fast charger, and a standard mobile charger which can go into any plug. So these are not very high, power utilization needed for charging it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Right.
Just one more thing is about the vehicle itself. It is have provided all the documents in terms of certification. And what is maybe also interesting is in the UK, there is another company called Ole, which is operating the same vehicle in I think it's in the across. In the UK, they're already in the South UK. They're also already operating. Not in, I think it's in Wales. They're operational. So the vehicle is the same type of vehicle. They obtained the license in the UK. As a reference.
Yeah. Vehicle.
All right. Right. I've got another question for you, Councillor Biscoe, please.
I did not get it.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello. Are we in communication?
Yes, I did not understand the last question.
Oh, right. The last question. I don't think I've asked it yet.
Okay.
Sorry. Good morning. And firstly, can I thank you for submitting such a copious and well presented business plan. You must have done a huge amount of work to pull that together, and I think it's extremely helpful. As I recall the last discussion that we had, the committee was anxious about the lack of doors. And I thought that you were going to be coming back to us and describing to us what provision could be made in that regard. So I just wanted to ask you, so that's the first part of my question. My concern is that any vehicle on the road is going to be at risk of a collision. The seat belts will clearly keep people inside the vehicle, but the doors are a secondary safeguard, if you like, from people being thrown out of the vehicle. In the event of a collision, could you just describe to me what practice you would be requiring your drivers to follow in terms of the safety of the customer?
Sorry, it's Angela Saunders from Democratic Services here. Before the applicant answers that question, could I ask that both the applicants on the telephone, if you're listening to the live stream on your computer, could you please mute your computer because we can hear it in the background?
That's
great.
I thought I could hear something. I didn't know if it was back left of the phone call there. Hello. Hi. So with relative to your question then, Plasto's been looking at some different options of the vehicle, how we can change and optimise different areas of the vehicle. So he's looked at possibly adding a door. So basically, it's all on your terms. If you're happy for us to have this open, then we can have it open how it is obviously designed, or we can have a door added to the vehicle for extra protection, really. Am I right, Professor, to say that that's obviously what you've been looking at with the company, haven't you?
Yeah, we have the option of, we'll have to work it out in detail. We have discussed this with a vendor, a manufacturer. Yeah. We have the option of making the door, to have the specifications.
That's right. So depending on the spec of we can have a door or have this obviously open rather than having a door fitted. So yeah, we're just waiting on obviously your views on that, really.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. We're still sorry, Chairman. We're still getting a little bit of feedback, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
It's repeating.
Yeah, if either of the applicants are listening to this on the live stream, can I please ask you to turn the sound down on the live stream, because we can hear it in the meeting.
That's better. Right, Councillor Biscoe, did you have any more questions?
I think that was the nub of the discussion at the last committee.
It was.
And I just wanted to sort of bring that back into the discussion. I think the answer, which is big, it gives the committee an option, which is really helpful, as is the rest of the business plan, I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Lennox-Boyd.
Thank you. Mine also was the concern regarding the doors, but also on the characteristics. It says that it's a multifunctional rear seat. Could you just explain what that actually means?
A multifunctional front seat.
It says a multifunctional rear seat. I believe that there will be seats. Yeah, that's in the characteristics of it.
Yeah. Prasad, do you know much on the multifunctional seat in the back there? Hello? Prasad?
Yes.
Hello. The lady just mentioned about the multifunctional seat in the back.
Yeah, and the way, because these vehicles come with electric installation, so we will have like USB charger for the guests, seat belts. So this is what is basically, so you can charge your mobile when you're in. So it's got so what is important from the safety point of view is that it has got seat belts by construction, by default, and they provide possibilities for mobile charging, and we can add monitors and things like this. So that is the idea of multifunctional.
So that
rear seats. Yeah.
Is that okay, Councillor Lennox-Boyd?
Yeah. The standard, regarding the door, I just verified one more thing. Standard is we have a windshield like cover, windscreen, and then a door can be added. We have the specifications. We can adjust the doors accordingly. So that's
thank you.
Make sure I get across the right information. So that is.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Venkatesh. Councillor Lennox-Boyd, did that answer your question?
Sorry, Chair, is the actual seat fitted? So it's not, when it said multifunctional, I wanted to make sure that the back seat was secure.
Yes, yes, that is secure. It is just that it is just not for sitting. You can have like gadgets, electric gadgets and things like this. So you can have a few other functions.
Okay. Chair, may I ask one more question?
Yeah, of course you can.
Thank you very much. It's regarding where would you put the surfboards? Would there be, you said that there can be a connection which I'm sure
That's
people would.
something you're looking at, isn't it? But nothing we're thinking about straight away. It's something like an add-on in the future, possibly, depending on how much interest we receive with surfboards.
Yeah.
Now, if we were going to go ahead with that, we'll be looking at a potential roof rack or a side rack. Am I right to say that, Professor? In the future.
That is an add-on which we will. The first run will be without any carry luggage or surf mounts. And to answer your question, I've been discussing about from the engineering side. It will be we have the possibility of mounting it on the back side of the vehicle,
Thank
not
you
on
very
top.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the answers. Thank you.
But that is for the initial application, the first season, until we want to gain experience also in the Cornwall climate and everything. So this will be without any surf or luggage mounts.
Any additional add-ons?
Yeah.
All right. Did that
very
answer your questions now, Councillor Lennox-Boyd?
Thank you both very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Foote.
Thank you, Chair. This is going back to safety concerns, really, about the vehicles. And it's good to hear that you won't be putting surfboards on these vehicles to start off with. And I would think from a safety point of view, I would question that moving forward. But really, I understand that there's patent pendings on the collision technology for both the front and the rear of the vehicles. What I'm interested in understanding, because you've referenced a couple of different applications around the UK. One was in Liverpool, one was in Cardiff, where tuk-tuks these vehicles were being used. But I can't find any companies that are actually operating the vehicles right now. So I see the press announcements. So I'm really just wondering if you're aware of any, any companies that are actually operating these right now in the UK, and if they've had any safety issues or concerns raised with them.
Okay. This is very extensively used for more than 5 years, I think, in Stockholm, in the city, where it it is being used, and I can get all references from there. And the one in UK, I have because we got this question last time, and we have done research on this. It was the manufacturer was not directly involved for the licensing in Cardiff, but it was directly done by the client, by the service provider, which is Ole, which is one of the largest in the world. It's a competitor of Uber. We have been trying to see if we can. If it is if you want to have further details, we can do research and request Ole to send us the documents, or we can. The manufacturer himself was not involved, but if there is a need, we can try. We cannot promise, but we can ask the Cardiff Council and Ole, the service provider, to provide us further details.
I think it would be helpful to understand if there have been any safety concerns in any of those places. I understand that Ole is a ride-hailing app like Uber, so I get that, but I'm just interested in what other cities might have experienced as far as safety
concerns. Any issues before? Yeah, we can get that across to you, and we can look into that side of things.
It's fine, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have next, I've got Councillor Pascoe who wishes to ask a question to an officer, please.
Yes, good morning, Chairman. Is that okay? I have two questions. I have two questions originally, but Councillor Lennox-Boyd did sort of cover off one of mine. It was just, I also noted that on page 20 of the report by the applicant specifically states that they will be aiming at picking up surfers, and I was going to ask the officer if they would consider it safe in any way that a safe board be carried on a tuk-tuk, but obviously they're saying this might be an add-on later, so that may not be appropriate just now. The second question I wanted to ask the officer, in the report on page 9, you say that no specific consultation has taken place relating to the licensing of tuk-tuks, and I wondered if any representation has been received from other operators to date.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Pascoe. Like it says in the report, no specific consultations taken place, and and I haven't heard anything from any of the trade elsewhere. I mean, obviously this hasn't been brought to, we wouldn't normally consult with the trade anyway, so this hasn't specifically been brought to their attention, but obviously it's a public meeting and is available on the website for anyone to see. So no, I haven't, in response to your question, I haven't received any consultation or feedback from the trade.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any further questions for the applicants, please? No? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, Ms. Horsley, if you'd like to sum up for us why you think we should grant the licence, and then we'll have a discussion about it all, an open discussion.
Yep, okay, cool. So I think granting us the private hire licence, I think one, it'd be a very popular service. It will be definitely a bonus and add-on to Newquay. I think it's something what they need, especially for holidaymakers, you know, when they don't know where they're going. It's quite nice to be able to be routed around the local town, I suppose, to see some nice locations, some nice areas to visit, etc. And I also believe that the business will strive, really. I think it'd be very popular, and I hope that we can extend it around Cornwall as the business grows.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And we are also focusing on new technology. I mean, we have the classical, you know, the old tuk-tuks. There are already, you know, licensed vehicles already in the UK operational, but we wanted to emphasize, you know, on the new technology. That's why I've been doing research in this for more than 3 years. I have my own solar lab, so we have plans in future also, you know, to really focus on solar, because in Crantec there is a big solar plant being planned. So it's a futuristic motivation behind, in addition to the, you know, to encourage the green technology.
Excellent, thank you, Dr. Venkatesh. If there's nothing else you wish to say, I'm going to open it to the committee for open debate now. So who would like to kick off? Councillor Foot.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you for the applicants for joining us and answering our questions for us today. I suppose my main questions and concerns around the application were around safety. I'm still a little concerned about the tuk-tuks using the B roads that have national speed limits. But there's an element of that in that, you know, we have cyclists and horseback riders and so forth will also be using those roads, or walkers as well. You know, that road that goes to Watergate Bay. So there's an element of that might actually calm some of the traffic, I suppose. But I think it's quite a forward-thinking application. And I'm initially quite supportive of it, with, you know, although I do have a few safety concerns, and I think carrying surfboards is a specific safety concern. I would think most surfboards will actually be longer than the actual vehicle. So I'm interested in you know, how that would work or possibly not work. So I'm leaning towards supporting this one, but happy to hear the rest of the debate from other councillors.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Can I have Councillor Martin next, please?
Thank you, Chair. I've been looking at this for our town, Helston, recently. I'm aware of fairly solid roof racks for surfboards and luggage for similar type vehicles. So my concern isn't really about carrying surfboards at the moment. However, I echo Councillor Foot's concerns, and I would recommend that doors are fitted. I'm also concerned about when they stop in the street, will there be sort of specific stopping areas, or will they just stop, be flagged down, or would they be part of the taxi zone?
Am I okay to mention something? I'm quite keen on any ideas what you guys have. We're happy to park up in a location which is given to us. Alternatively, park up in a safe area. You know, it depends on what you guys really think to the safety side.
Thank you, Ms. Horsley. If I could ask you to hold fire for the moment until anyone wishes to ask you a specific question. This is a general debate for us at the moment, so thank you very much. Julie, did you wish to come in on that one?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. Yeah, I just wanted to mention, as the question arose regarding stopping areas, I mean, obviously this is an application for a private hire vehicle, so it's pre-bookings only, so they wouldn't be able to be flagged down in the same way as a taxi or stop on a street and apply for hire. They would be bookings only through an office or via telephone.
Thank you, Julie. That's clarified that one, has it? Councillor Martin?
Thank you very much. That's clear. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Biscoe?
Well, Chairman, I'm doing a bit more leaning than Jessie. I'm inclined to say let's have a look and see what it's like. I take the point about B roads, but then I also take Jessie's point about bicycles and all the other things that travel along at less than 60 miles an hour. And I think that, one of the key elements about the modern traffic mix is that everybody has to be alert to everybody else and to look out for everybody else. We don't all live in tubes and go charging down our own particular track, do we, anymore? So I don't have a great deal of trouble with that. I'm inclined to go with the notion that we should try the doors. If the doors don't work for whatever reason, then I think that we might keep a slightly open mind about that and suggest that if they are impracticable, then leave the door. Leave the way open. I was going to say leave the door open. Leave the way open to come back to the committee, and we can maybe discuss that again. But I think it would be good to start out with the doors. And on that basis, I'm for giving it a try. So I'll propose that we approve with the addition of the doors.
You will find that the doors, Councillor Biscoe, are mentioned in Appendix 7, which are the conditions.
I didn't quite get as far as Appendix 7.
That's all right. Appendix 7. It took me ages to find it. That's why I gave you the page numbers.
Thank you.
Page 123 to 135.
Oh, got it.
You'll find that there is a section on doors there. Number 34, doors and windows.
Yes.
Number 34 and 39 about the doors and windows. So hopefully,
I'm on
all
34.
doors must be fitted with reflectors. It doesn't actually, got it?
Yes, and 39.
All vehicles.
Yes, I think what those are saying what goes on the doors.
Yeah, that's assuming the doors are there, so we can add the doors on.
So we must make it a condition, I think.
Absolutely. Okay.
But supervise. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Mark would advise, but I think that if the operator finds that the doors are either obstructing or difficult or whatever, then we should leave the way open for them to come back and have a chat about it.
Lovely. Thank you. Mark, did you wish to come in on that one?
Oh, hello, Jay. It's Mark Andrews from Legal here. Yeah, just as Councillor Biscoe said, if you were minded to attach a condition regarding doors, then you would need to add that to the conditions. Those conditions there would cover the types of doors, so they need reflectors, etc. And in terms of what Councillor Biscoe also said, yes, if you were to attach that as a condition and it didn't work out for the applicants, they could always come back and ask to vary the conditions. So, and if they were able to provide, reasons for that or whatever at that time. But yeah, if you were minded to grant, you could attach a condition requiring doors.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dr. Ventukash. Can I ask you? Just for the moment, we're just continuing our debate.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right, no, that's fine. That's fine. I have Councillor Thomas next, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. Yeah, I've listened to the debate and the presentation. I think this, like Jessie said, is a very forward-thinking idea, and I agree entirely with Bert's sentiments. I'm querying about the doors. I mean, part of this tut-tut is the actual experience, I would say. So I'm just wondering if, apart from having the doors, could there be some sort of like fold-in or adjustable